All right, folks, here we are. For those who are just walking in, my name's Super Ray. Obviously, there's the 397 in there. And we are currently going through Pokemon Black 2, but with a twist, because it's a randomizer. Right now, for those that are just tuning in, or for those that don't remember from last time, we had picked a starter, defeated the first gym, and we've been introduced to dark tall grass, and this is technically what our team is looking like right now. We got Volo the Garchomp, super gentle giant, supposedly. Blizzard Mudshot, heal order Giga Drain with cute charm, so watch out, ladies. He's gonna, if you touch him, you might get affected by him. Immune, which I only labeled it immune because there's no typing up to right now that could be super effective against him, because fairy types are for her, sorry, since fairy types don't exist at the moment. With Fake Out, Luster Purge, which is a signature move of Latios, Crush Grip, which I think is a signature move of Regigigas, ironically enough, because we fought Regigigas earlier in the last part, and Mudshot. Not a great moveset by any standards, especially if it has an adamant nature, which ups attack, lowers special attack, with a Keen Eye as his ability. Well, I don't know, I'm gonna keep it. That's why it's level 5, because it was just recently caught. Jackie, our starter, with Night Day, Spikes, Blast Burn, and Wake Up Slap. Let me actually change the order here. We'll keep Jackie regardless of what happens here. With multi-type, which I learned yesterday doesn't really work. It doesn't really change Jackie's poison fighting type to whatever type, because we have the Splash Plate and we have the Ground Plate. That doesn't work. So we're dealing with what we got. And then Ryan, who's been a very good class act, helping us out through some of these fights with Mach Punch, Cross Poison, Wing Attack, and Night Slash. Though one of the most viable movesets right now with Marvel Scale, so it means if it gets a status, its defenses increase, which is not that bad for it being a Sped F up, special attack down, or Sped F being special defense, and then overpowers a Shuckle that I have as switch fodder, but this thing has been, how you say, a pain in my tuchus, because he has been hurting me when I try to capture a Garchomp. But yes, overpowered the Shuckle with Solar Power, which increases special attack, which has no, well, it has Chatter, but Shuckle with the amazing attack of 6 and 8. Not gonna be doing much. Again, Shuckle, just switching fodder, motherfucker. Just to start us off, we're gonna see what pops in the yard grass. Whatever pops in, maybe I'll catch it, maybe I won't, and then we'll go on. Oh, and this demon. At the end of my last stream, I was trying to capture this demon of a Pokemon. We'll try one more time. If it doesn't work, then you know what? Free XP. But we'll see. The moveset it has should be Barrier, String Shot, Night Daze, and Horn Leech. Well, it's an interesting moveset, and unfortunately it doesn't have Contrary, which is a really good ability on Servine, or the superior line to be exact. Which basically reverses any stats changes. So if it's a buff, it becomes a negative. If it's a negative, it becomes a buff. Which would be good, but doesn't have the ability. Whoever has it is going to be a monster. Unless they have, like, Iron Defense and then they're killing themselves. Because they're weakening the defense instead of buffing it. But we'll see. I can already tell this is going to be a great run. We're going to see if, how far we can get. I'm hoping to, well, maybe do it as long as the last one and tackle down the second gym. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I just know that this game is kind of rough, so we'll see. But that's pretty much it. And this Servine's being a pain in the ass. Like, come on. The worst part is if it does Horn Leech and then becomes unkillable. And also the worst part, if not add onto that, which I'm surprised is being super nice right now, it has a berry, I think it's apricot, if I'm correct, which is ironic, because apricots were used to make Pokeballs back in Gen 2. And were brought back in Sword and Shield, DLC-wise. And it buffs special defense. Which is the irony. Because well, not the irony, actually. It's actually pretty good, because it has a move to buff its defense, then buffs its special defense. But by that point, it's on the verge of death. So we're going to see if we can catch it. If we don't catch it in this one ball, I'm going to kill it. Or faint it, not kill it, because there's no such thing as death. Well, alright, it's gone. It was nice knowing it. To Lou, string shot. Owie, my speed. And we'll keep going with Volo's a special Garchomp. Sure, why not? Signature move of Zoroark, by the way. Night Days. A move that's like an alternate besides Dark Pulse, but it has an accuracy, I believe, 90. But it does lower accuracy, or has a chance of lowering accuracy, to be fair. So we'll see. Yeah. Trick. I'm good. Trick is like, for those who were there for the last part, Switcheroo, which essentially speaking grabs my item and the opponent's item and swaps them. If for some reason, obviously, the opponent doesn't have an item, I don't get anything, but they get whatever I have. And let me see who's in the front right now. Well, I know Volo's in the front, but let me see who can I put in the front. I could put Immune, but no. I'll put Immune in the back, just so I'll think about it. Again, any training that I decide on a Pokemon, if it's like too weak to muster at the beginning, I'll do it off screen so that way I don't bore the entire audience with the whole grind, because that would suck. Alright, let's see what this Rich Boy Kate. Rich Boy Kate. Amalga! Well, the demon of Gen 5. Well, in theory, demon. If this was normal, Emolga would have Motor Drive, which means it's immune to electric moves. And it gets a speed boost, not only that. But not only that, Emolga's pretty fast, kind of strong, and it's kind of like the Pikachu of this generation. Because every generation has a Pikachu, in quotes. So you have Emolga, who's a flying electric type, which makes it unique because it's the few electric types that are not weak to ground. A common weakness for electric types. But yeah, the whole Pikachu clones. We have Pikachu for Gen 1, Meryl for Gen 2, ironically enough, because it was referred as Pika-Blue. Gen 3 was +1 Minun. Gen 4 is Pastirisu, who actually won a VGC tournament with a Garchomp, unironically, as I'm using one. And Gen 5 obviously has Emolga. There's a couple more, like I think Gen 6 is Denene, I believe. And then Gen 7, it's, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank here. I don't remember what Gen 7 was. I feel bad now. I'm like drawing a blank on Gen 7. Unless Gen 7 was Denene. I don't remember. I know Gen 8, which I believe is Sword and Shield, is more Peko. With Hangry mode and stuff. Oh, Shiny Stone. Too bad it's not a Moonstone though. I would like a Moonstone. Oh. Fuck. Oh, dude. Wingull. Eventually, training Pokemon will be easier because realizing that's, oh, this is a level 3, but you have a level 14 Garchomp right now. Leveling up certain Pokemon will be easy because eventually we'll get an experience share, which basically will give half of the experience, yeah, of the Pokemon, even though they didn't participate in battle. Alright, Wingull. Or Wingull, not Wingill. Frost Breath. Alright. 4 times effective, it's a crit. It has Flame Orb. Interesting. I don't think that's viable. I think it's gonna kill. I'm gonna kill it by mistake. If not, the Flame Orb is gonna just annihilate it. But yeah, okay, that's fine. Wingull's not really a good Pokemon per se. Not even Pelipper is good. Well, Pelipper is good if it has Drizzle, because it became a rain setter at some point in between gens and gained the signature ability of Kyogre and the ability of how you say Politoed. I had a moment there. And it's a really good ability because you set Rain turn 1 instead of having to waste a turn doing Rain Dance. Or waste a turn of, if you're doing Sword and Shield, Dynamax to do a Max Geyser, which sets up the Rain. But thank God. This gen is before Megas, Z-moves, Dynamax, or Fairies, so Dragons and Steel types are still the strongest Pokemons. Speaking of Dragons, the signature or box art legendary of Pokemon Black, who has Cloud9. That's interesting. Cloud9, essentially speaking, removes any weather effects. So if you have, like, let's say, Drought on the field, which powers up fire type moves and weakens water moves, that doesn't apply at all as long as the Pokemon's on the field. So it's a nice trade-off. Pokemon's like Psyduck and Altaria have it, which could be. Oh, and I think Drampal has it, which could be useful. But they sometimes are too weak in terms of stats to be like viable in like the higher up tiers. So usually the only Pokemon you'll ever see probably using Cloud9 would be Rayquaza, who has a different version of Cloud9, which the only difference is the naming. It's called Airlock instead of Cloud9. But it happens. Because usually in a normal game, Reshiram has Turbo Blaze, which negates all abilities. So let's say, for example, Shedinja has Wonder Guard, right? You can negate if it's not a super effective move, it doesn't matter. And everything, so it doesn't really affect you in a way. Or if the Pokemon has Sturdy and you are gonna KO it, Sturdy doesn't activate because you go bypass Sturdy. So, broken ability, but there's other Pokemon that have an ability like that, but they're not called Turbo Blaze. The other one's Turbo Volt, Turbo Volt, I think it is. I forgot what it is. It's the Zekrom equivalent of it. And then the normal one that everyone usually gets is Mold Breaker, which I enjoy like running Mold Breaker on Pokemon like Excadrill, because it's a really good Steel Dark type. So that's Steel Dark type. Sorry, Steel Ground type. I said Dark like a fool. How could I? That's Bisharp. A Steel Ground type. Not a bad typing. It's my mom. I forgot. Yes, I'm in Burbank. Yeah, again, my Apple Watch of the Pokemon universe. Well, I don't know if you call it Apple Watch because I know the Pokédex in Gen 4 was a thing. Oh, and then we get to meet the gym leader and Papa. Well, not our dad. I believe this is Roxy's dad. So let's just say, yeah, there you go. She's she's an interesting gym leader because she replaces well, since Sharon, who we've mentioned last time, replaces Lenora, we need another gym leader. So they added Roxy, who's an interesting gym leader because she's not just a gym leader, as you hopefully caught, even though I've been kind of speaking through the text. Um, she's a rock star, or a rock band member, not a rock star. I believe she's a guitarist. Traditionally, obviously, if we were going through a normal playthrough, I'd be like, let's see what type she is, but knowing that she won't have that type, and I hope you're not like using this to like follow along if you are playing the game normally, because know that kid's not gonna have a reshiram when you meet them. It's it would be poison type essentially speaking. It's interesting because, well, no, actually it wouldn't be. Well, interesting for Unova because I don't think Unova has that many poison types. You have like the garbage Pokemon Garbodor or Garbodor, however you want to say it. And you also have Scolipede, who's a really good bug type also, which bug types tend to get shit on a lot because they're not really a good typing. They usually hinder the type that it's on. But there are some good bug types, and they get better throughout the gens. Heracross is one. Scizor is one. And then there's some that are like good in general. Like Ninjask is good for baton passing like buff stats. Ooh, Mankey. Nice. I wonder if it has Truant, like the primate from my test run. Um, but yeah, and then you have like Escavalier, who's another bug steel type. But essentially speaking, I say not that bad of a bug type. Slow though. That's the only thing. So, but it is what it is. It's not uncommon. Let's see if we can capture Mankey. That was weird. That was a weird slowdown. But yeah, it's I don't know. I like bug typing. They get better over time because you get the bug types that are like not great, but they're pretty good. Like Glossopod is one. Glossopod, well, I'll be a little biased here. I like Glossopod, even though it has a very terrible ability. Oh, it's Impish Nature. Oh, alright. Cool. I don't think I'm gonna use this Mankey, but I'm glad to just have it. Um, but yeah. Forgot what I was doing here. What was I doing here? Oh yeah, I can exit out through here. I forgot what's here and what the hell is going on here. Um, but yeah. I don't know, bug types underrated. But yeah, so the whole I think Caesar is kind of like the baseline of like to be good, essentially speaking. Because Caesar is like the steel bug type who has a lot of resistances and was used to counter dragons. And not just any dragon types, the Latios. So Latios and Latias. Especially when they had Soul Dude. So it's one of those that So Drowsy had download and substitute. Download would be beneficial if it was actually, well, if it was used on a different Pokemon besides Drowsy. Because download would look at your stats or your opponent's stats and then buff whichever offensive stat was better against your opponent. So if your opponent had lower special attack, it would buff the special attack. If it had lower defense, it would buff the attack. And then substitute failed because it had low health. Substitute is a move where you sacrifice a little bit of your health just to create like a barrier, essentially speaking. Nothing gets between you and whoever it is. Oh, dude, my man Barboach. The third, well, technically the third family of ground water types. One of the best type combinations out there. Which gives you... Alright, Barboach. Calm down. It gives you immunities to electric, which is one of water's weaknesses. And you can kind of counter against any like weaknesses that ground has with the water typing, except for grass. So the only downside to it is you don't resist water, and you get a 4 times weakness to grass. Not a fun. It's a good typing, but not the greatest typing. And then Hippopotas, the male to be exact, because male and female are different colored. Male's this light brown, while female gets the dark hue. That's kind of funny. So naturally, oh, it's Togedemaru in Gen 7. I'm an idiot. Sorry. So what's funny about Hippopotas getting airlock is the fact that normally it has Sandstream. So it's kind of funny that it's preventing weather and not setting it up. But who am I to judge, right? It's just a cute little hippo that becomes a very vicious hippo when it evolves. Yeah. Will I catch it? Probably not, because I have a lot of ground types, and I don't hate Hippopotas, but I'm good because a good chunk of my team is actually slow. I think Garchomp's like the only fast one per se, unless I pick up Mankey, but Mankey's like a fighting type, and I'm just getting more weaknesses. Right now, I just have a huge target on my back for psychic types, which is not great. So that's not ideal. Oh, Woobat. Let's see if it's actually Woobat though. Is it Lugia by any chance? Okay, Yamask. One of the darkest Pokemons of Gen 5. Pokedex entry stating that it's essentially speaking carrying its face from when it was alive on it, which is such a dark entry for Pokemon, but I don't know what to tell you at that point. That's neither here nor there. I don't go and be like, hey, Game Freak, by the way, this entry is pretty dark. I don't know if you want to change that or just leave it. I just letting you know it's pretty dark. But yeah. Also, I don't remember this music, which I dig the music. Even though I think it's a bit slowed down, if I'm correct. But we'll come back here later. I don't think I was supposed to be in the area right now. There's a couple of things here. I'll trade you a Pokeball for my Great Ball, sure. I forgot this was the gen to trade. Well, trade that one Pokeball for a Great Ball. Oh, all right. I can't explain this right now, so we'll get to that if I somehow get a good rod or an old rod or a super rod. Some way, shape, and form, mind you. Because at least in my opinion, it makes no sense to explain a mechanic that we can't even do. So I'm not sure what he was saying about Magnemite, but I believe, well, the idea would be Magnemite would be an ideal partner for this gym, just for the sheer fact that Magnemite's a steel type, so you avoid the idea of getting poisoned or weak to poison or immune. Actually, you're flat out immune to poison. You're like, oh, dude, toxic, poison sting, oh, it's toxic spike, fuck you, kind of thing. I just realized I made a noise and gesture. You can't see it, but it's fine. Oh yeah, that creepy thing in the corner of the on the right side is a Watchog. It's not a great Pokemon, which is a shame because there's so many as people call it Rattata clones, which are always like the early route Pokemon for and usually normal types. There's rarely a Pokemon that's like a completely different type. But you have it in every gen: Rattata, Sentret, Zigzagoon, Bidoof, the greatest HM slave, alongside Zigzagoon, and then Patrat kind of falls off on that one, which is the pre-evolution of Watchog. Patrat per se is not great because it doesn't learn any HMs, which is the whole idea of an HM slave. Which HMs are the moves that you have to use to get through the game. So Cut, Surf, Defog back then in Gen 4. I don't know. I think they stopped using Defog after a while. Or after Gen 4. And if not Gen 4, like I know Gen 5 would be the last one. Let me go to the Pokemon Center and probably tackle this gym at this point. I'm good. But yeah, that's the whole idea of HMs. But you would have an HM slave because back then, in the great minds of Gen 1 and 2, you couldn't delete HM moves off your Pokemon. Whoever thought of that. Then again, Gen 1 again was a kind of a mistake, but was the base work for Pokemon. That's a lot of mechanics I can get into on a video on its own. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe if we do like a Pokemon Stadium rental randomizer or just Pokemon Stadium normally, and do the gym castle because to save everyone the hassle of going through like the actual stadiums. Gen 1 was a lot of mechanics were a mistake, and thank God they rectified it by removing them. It was not fun. Oh yeah, I I know we haven't seen this box system with a PC, but this is where your Pokemons would go if you had a full team of 6 and you caught a 7th Pokemon, essentially speaking. So if you had 7 Pokemon, the 7th one would go into the box. Nowadays, the game will ask you if you wanna be like, hey, by any chance, do you want to switch this with one of your party members? You can also look at the summary and all that stuff. But back then it was like, oh, sent to the box. By the way, good luck. Oh, you want to use it right now? Well, gotta wait. A lot of uh, little easy things in life that made things better. And this guy will always give you fresh water before a gym, I think, if I'm correct. Oh yeah, but you'll be hearing actual audio. I know it's kind of weird because it feels a little slowed down, which I'm kind of concerned. But this is basically they'll be saying spelling Pokemon, essentially speaking. And the idea is you want to defeat the 2 members, and then you can fight Roxanne, because she's too distracted in her playing right now. So It's actually, I think, the few times Pokemon actually has voice acting in their game, or maybe the only time. I could be wrong, but very few times. Staraptor, one of the best early birds. Speaking of early routes, it's a very scary early bird Pokemon that has one of the best. Well, normally has one of the best abilities in the game, in a game, which is Intimidate, where you lower your opponent's attack stat by one stage. Yikes. Um, so essentially speaking, even though Staraptor is not really defensively bulky and by any means, it basically means that you are you have more survivability because your opponent's physical attack, may I add, is lowered instead of the special attack. So be careful. Special attackers are still prevalent and can KO you. And Staraptor is fast and can hit hard if it was hitting physically. Unfortunately, it's using Water Spout, so Water Spout's not really a physical move, it's a special move. So, and it's a fully evolved Pokemon from the Starly line, because you go Starly, Staravia, and then Staraptor. Very good Pokemon. I used it in my BDSP run. And then we got Cofagrigus. One of the bulkiest Ghost-type Pokemons out there. And if it was a normal Cofagrigus, he would have Mummy. Which, essentially speaking, if it makes contact with you, or sorry, not you, if you make contact with it, clarification there, it will give you the ability Mummy and remove whatever ability you have. So essentially speaking, if you have huge power and you touch it with a physical move, you lose your huge power, which that's it, your ability is gone. Until you switch out, obviously. Nothing's really ever permanent except for lost items like Focus Sash if you ever use it in a battle. In game, obviously. But yeah, one of the bulkiest Pokemon is usually known for its Will-O-Wisp antics and Pain Split. Ryan's getting up there in levels. Probably switch out Ryan. Oh, cool trainer Veronica. Didn't know. All right, cool. And if you notice, since we beat the guy, or Veronica, you don't hear him talking anymore. So it removes the male voice, and it's kind of cool because you slowly remove music from them, and it's like, now it's time to face you because we're distracting everyone. And Swimmer Kate, she looks more like a rocker, but okay. Oh, Turtiosa. Very cute Pokemon. I got another evolution in Legends Arceus, which was Ursaluna. Did it need an evolution? Maybe. Is the evolution any better? Somewhat. It does mean, though, if Ursaluna's in a game, that Ursaring can use Eviolite now. The great item we've been talking about. If you were here the first part, the item we were talking about in the first part. So. And you know what? If I find a Slack Off, or a Vigoroth, or even a Slacking, I'm gonna catch it. Reason being is because that family is very strong. The only thing that holds that family back is that Slacking has Truant, which means you get to attack every other turn. But if you remove that, like I mentioned with Regigigas in my last part, where you remove Slow Start, it becomes a very scary Pokemon because Slacking has stats of a legendary and is not slow by any means despite its name Slacking. It is very fast and very deadly. It's pretty cool that you could just hear the one guitar, and then as usual I'm just gonna go back and heal. I could abuse the save state function, but where's the fun in that? Let me just walk back, heal. It's not gonna cost me my life or anything like that. It probably will be beneficial to heal first. And since if for some reason she does have poison types, I can live because Krogan or Jackie or Krogan is poison type. And not only that, Ryan, the Nidorino, is poison type. The only reason I keep him around is because eventually, if I find a Moonstone, Ryan essentially becomes a ground poison type, which is pretty good offensively. And Krogan's gonna be a fighting poison regardless, but can't go wrong with those two. And also, I can't disclose, like, disregard Ryan because Ryan has helped quite a bit in these fights. All right, see, and now we gotta fight her to knock some sense. Jacqueline, not Roxy, Jacqueline. All right, my bad. All right, let's see what you got, Jack Biker. Close enough. She has psychic types. Oh no. Well, hopefully KO, live, right? And of course not. It has Psycho Cut? Ooh. I said ill because Jackie is a poison fighting type, 4 times affected against Psychic, so in a perfect world, I would have been KO'd immediately. Because it wouldn't use Psycho Cut, unless it was going to evolve into Gallade. Oh, Meganium. Oh, shoot. One of the most underrated, well, not underrated, it's pretty bad starter for second gen. It's just, and it's a shame because it looks so good. It's like a dinosaur or plant monster, essentially speaking. If it got a secondary typing, it might help it. Alright. So, that would be great though. So, Teeter Dance is an accurate confuse ray or supersonic where the opponent dances and then you confuse your, or not the opponent dances, but you dance, confuse the opponent, and that's it. No, no effects like swagger where you raise the attack stat or anything like that. Even though how much you do to yourself depends on how high your actual attack stat is. So, I don't know if Meganium only has Teeter Dance. I'm not aware of this. If it did, oh well, it's over. If not, cool. But yeah, it's a shame. Meganium's like a bulky grass type. And I actually like Meganium. Not like to a crazy extent, like I worship it. But Meganium doesn't get enough love. It did get, though, a Spatial Red. Sure. Oh, you know what? Sorry, Spikes. I know I taught you for a reason, but dude, Spatial Red. Who can deny Spatial Red? It's a signature move of one of my favorite legendaries, Palkia, who's in BDSP. He is the Pearl of the Diamond. Spatial Red, which is a high crit dragon move. Its accuracy is not 100%. But it does have the obviously higher crit rate and doesn't fall to the victim of having to recharge. Because the other signature move in in 4th gen would be Roar of Time, which unfortunately Roar of Time, even though it's stronger, has a recharge. So, oh dude, a physical ground move. Supposedly it's Venom Shock, but let's not tell her. You know what? Let's go to the Pokemon Center and we'll teach it. What the? I don't remember this. Oh, Pokestar Studios. I forgot about that. Where you get make movies and stuff. I think that's like one of the new things they added in this game. And I believe Bryson, who is I think another gym leader, gets to I gotta check my badges, but I believe he's replaced in the process. because he becomes like a Focus Studios movie star, essentially speaking. Which I think they kind of, no, not hint at him leaving, but like hint that he was like a star, essentially speaking. I could be wrong. It's been a hot take since I've done black and white, which you would think that'd probably be maybe the first game to start off with, but I asked a certain someone, they were like, I asked them what game to play. It was either Black and White 2, which was ironically on my mind first, or no, it wasn't that one. It was Heart Gold, Soul Silver, another good game with less Pokemon. All right, sorry Bolo, I completely neglected you, but all right, let's see who can learn Dig. Dig is a 2-turn ground type move, which wouldn't be great, but all right, Volo can't learn this, so I'm a little sad. I won't teach it to Jackie yet because Jackie has some decent moves. They don't help Jackie by any capacity because Jackie's well, yes and no, because Jackie's like a mix attacker, but you either lean towards the special or the physical. But we'll see. Maybe I teach it to Jackie out of desperation because if you don't know, Diggy's kind of like an escape rope, which escape ropes used to escape like caves, any dungeons or anything like that. So in a way, you can kind of ease, kind of like a free escape rope, essentially speaking. But a Pokemon would have to know it. In competitive, not that great because you can give your opponents a chance to switch if they have a switch in. If they don't, they don't. 2-turn moves usually in any competitive aspect is not that great, but it can work in certain situations. Like in the obviously recent Sword and Shield, they have uh, Landers right now. It's not Therian. I think it's yeah, Landers Therian. And his typical moveset besides Sword Stance would be Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Fly. Fly being the 2-turn move, but it's the only physical, well, only good, and if not the only physical flying type move it has. Which you would think a 2-turn flying move would be bad on Landers, but you get Stab, and you can Dynamax and boost your speed instead. So that's usually why people have Fly on it. It is what it is. In a way, there's like nothing better you can do. It's kind of like a Dragonite, where the best physical flying it has is Dual Wing Beak. Well, if you don't want a 2-turn move like Fly. So yeah. Um, Pokemon Studios. It's kind of weird. Kind of like I personally don't remember much of Pokemon Studios because I never got into it when I originally did this game. It was kind of like a in the dark reaches of my mind and kind of malarkey. Because this shit was like, I don't know, when I was younger, like the attention span for this was like, alright, I'm good. I don't need to know this anymore. The other stuff, mind you, would be the fact that I didn't know there was that many legendaries in this game. Besides obviously the traditional ones. Bryson, man. Our boy Bryce. Ah, the movies. Such a weird thing that Pokemon brought. Which makes sense because you would think the Pokemon world is kind of like the human world. It's like, we would have movies and there's contests and everything. But it's just weird. It's really weird. And that's me, by the way. Riolu Man, I think. Or that, I don't know if that's a dad, actually. I don't remember. So, it's really weird. Like, there's a robot Tyranitar and stuff. It's some alien thing. It's not normal. I think it's like giving you like the whole, oh, this is the movie aspect of it. Like this is how it works. Really weird. Not my cup of tea. Some people found it interesting. Not me. I always find like catching the legendaries and something else. Contests, maybe. Depend on the contest though. I am basically those people in the bottom. Sleeping to this movie right now. Oh, someone, they woke up. There's action. And Riolu goes down, maybe, right? Yep. Oh no. Though the green does not work well for Bryson, in my opinion. It's kind of weird, and also weird that the villain wins. I don't mind that. It's interesting. It's a shame though. So villains are always interesting, in my opinion. Not this one, because it's Bryson, man. The Bryson gang. It's so stupid. Pop Roxy. What? Oh yeah, his name is so weird. It's just Pop Roxy. So that was a pretty bad movie, man. I don't know. You hurt my eyes. It was pretty bad. Maybe you should stick to sailing, my good sir. That's funny. Oh well. Can't be helped. So it can be. But yeah. The balance of responsibility, which is something that all of us want to do. Whether it be being an adult, being in high school, going to college, which is not for everyone, but so be it. But that's off track from what we just experienced. We just experienced a pretty bad movie. I don't think we're ever gonna touch Pokemon Poke Studios because I do not like this by any means or any standards. I would seriously have to be inspired to be like, we're gonna do Pokemon Studios as a grand finale, but I'm good. And there's the Tyranitar, somewhat more or less, you can kind of gauge to yourself. Unfortunately, we do have to like mess with this for now, or I think at least go through this whole intro. It's unfortunately not a choice we can make because we had to get the dad, be like, "Yo, Paparazzi, I need you out here. Something's wrong. I need you to run the ship so we can get out of here." God, Bryson, please put me out of my misery, Bryson. No, Bryson. I think he's one of the more interesting gym leaders because he does the whole movie thing and he's trained in. I think I don't know if the generic would be kung fu at that point, but like he's actually equipped to fight. Which, if anyone has seen let's see the Pokedex first. Not the Pokedex, the badges for a second. That's not what I meant. Weep. There we go. Yeah, Bryce is not in here anymore. It's a shame. All right. What the? Okay. Yep. This is the part where I'm forced to make something. Yes, I don't want to make something, but I have to. Bryson, please. Oh yeah, the mocap people. I forgot there's like mocap, or at least in Pokemon World, mocaps and stuff. I forgot, who do I have to talk to? I don't remember. If only I was paying attention, because I was not. I don't. I don't like the. I don't like Poke Studios by any standards. Like, don't get me wrong. Maybe if it got released like later, when I had the attention span of a literal adult and not a child, this would be cool. But nah. Oddly enough, I say I enjoy let's do rental Pokemon, why not? I enjoy stuff a little bit more as an adult and because I understand it more. Like there's a lot of like games here and there that I would have never done if I didn't understand what I was doing. I do like the intro though, the little battle intro stuff that they give out. It's so weird though. And here's the Riolu. Hi Riolu. Scene 1. First, check out the script. Let's, for a second here, just see what Riolu has. Just because, oh, Storm Drain. Holy shit, that's pretty fucking good. Force Palm and Ice Punch. I think this is, man, I thank God it's that part is mandatory and it's not gonna switch the moves. Yeah, alright. So, Force Palm will work and be 4 times effective because, Pawniard, just like its evolution, Bisharp is a dark steel type, which is really good, but it is super weak to fighting. 4 times to be exact. So it doesn't help in that aspect of it. And then Volibite, the other bulky Pokemon. Well, more bulkier than Pawniard and Bisharp, because Bisharp's more very offensive in a way. But how you say Volibee and its evolution Mandibuzz are actually on the bulkier side. They're usually the tank pivots that you'd want in a way. But again, luckily we don't have to deal with that. Hopefully, in quotes, because oh my god, please. I don't think Volibee is that fast though. But I think we automatically win anyways. But yeah. When I mentioned defensive pivots, it's one of those where you kind of want a Pokemon to fall back on in case you need to like maneuver and position yourself differently. Pokemon's like Ferrothorn, Toxapex in the later gen, and Mandibuzz are kind of like examples. Sometimes, I don't know what I agree to. I can't even save my game. So, yeah, I don't want to release it. Cool. That was fun. Not really. Oh, I gotta release something. My god, sorry. I was a fool. I apologize. I'm gonna try to rush through this. Um, I say, I'll try to rush through this again. I was talking about defensive pivots. I completely negated everything that was being told to me. But yeah, they're kind of little Pokemons that you want to reposition with. Sometimes it's not those Pokemon. Sometimes it's for example, Gastrodon, who is kind of bulky, but not like super bulky. Not like how you would say Toxapex is. They don't share the same weaknesses, but Gastrodon has one thing over a Toxapex. Let's say if you wanted to switch into a water type move because you have a fire type Pokemon out there, where it has Storm Drain, which I don't know if I think it's in this gen because I read it, but um, maybe I'm wrong. But I believe it's this gen. It's Storm Drain where you absorb the water type move, but instead of taking damage, you actually increase your special attack, which is really good, especially in the current meta of how you say Sword and Shield, where you have a bunch of Kyogres and Groudons running around. Not for, well, for Groudon's sake to absorb any max geysers that occur. So, but yeah, that's not a pretty scene per se. Oh, it is what it is. Sometimes your pivot might be an Arcanine with Intimidate. Or a Flame Body Pokemon. Who knows? Or Volt Absorb. Motor Drive. Like Electivire. Yeah. Alright, let's actually read this dialogue. Go to work. Yeah, sure. Not gonna be able to save, but yep. No, are you saying I am locked in here? No. Okay, we are stuck. No. No. Are you telling me if I can't save? No. What? Have I soft locked this game? What the fuck? I soft locked this fucking game. I want to scream. I want to scream. I soft locked this game. Huh. Sure. I I don't know what to do anymore. I soft locked the game. I have an idea, but I I'm so baffled. Hopefully let me see if I can bypass this. What? So this would be where you would stop and you're stuck. I can't go. Can't believe this. Let me I can't agree with that. Oh my god. I can't. I can't. This is terrible. I'm like I can't believe. What the fuck? You just released a shot. I can't. It's impossible. Please refer to instruction details. Up select B in the title screen. Alright, people. Let's try this. It's gonna look a little weird, and obviously I'm gonna pause the recording. Let's see. Let's see if doing this. Oh wait, before I do such nonsense, there we go. Uh, I don't want to lose what I've been doing, so let's see if I just reset, and then I will delete, and then we'll see. Cause I can't believe it. So I understand why it's there. I understand. Oh, there you go. Yes. Hopefully, I can salvage this. If not, looks like I'll be playing this game in the back burner just to get to this part and get through this. But wow, is this an undersight? I highly doubt this is gonna work. Yep, folks, it looks like, alright. So it looks like we're at a standstill here. So the idea is I have to remember these three specifically. And what I'm gonna probably have to do, and it's gonna suck, is play through the beginning after deleting the file. Because, yeah, we are kind of at a loss here. So I know I didn't do not as much as I did last time, by any standards. But I'm gonna end it here to save you the hassle of going through, what is it, like 2 hours and 30 minutes of what I did yesterday? Just so next time, tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow, depends on what happens. Probably tomorrow. Get through this, and I'll go past the Poke Studio stuff, so you guys don't have to see that stuff again. And there's nothing to worry about. All right. I appreciate everyone who's shown up, all the patience that's been brought on, and realizing how dumb I am when it came to this moment, and me learning that there's a soft lock moment. So I appreciate everyone coming here, and to all have a good night. So sorry.